What's up, everybody? This is Rob from LearnBridge.nyc, and here are the results from our most recent online tournament. This was the one we played on October 6th and October 7th. If you want to play in this every week, guys, don't forget, sign up by 5 p.m. on Thursdays, and you should be in for the week. If you're having any sign-in problems, we're trying to solve all of those. Sometimes it's as simple as you might have created more than one account, and you're not logged in on the right account. So whatever name you sign up with is the name that you will be entered into the tournament under. So just make sure you're on the right username and you should be all set. We had a star-studded field this week with Joe Grew returning, John Hurd playing for the first time in a while, Shane Blanchard, all national and world champions. So our work was cut out for us, and I definitely shrunk to the task this week. I went from above 80% last week to 53% this week. So you can see sometimes we have good weeks and sometimes we have bad weeks. The one lesson I learned, and I can impart to all of you, and I've learned it more than once in these tournaments for sure, but I keep making the same mistake. If you want to score well and you want to just put in some effort into this, get yourself into a quiet room somewhere where you have no distractions, like turn the TV off. Sometimes I just put on some music and just get into the tournament and focus on the cards that are played and what I'm doing. Play with a lot of distractions, especially television, friends around, you're playing on your phone. You're bound to just relax and not take it seriously. And the the first hand was a good example of that for me. I was in four spades down one when there's a very good line to make it. And we'll look at how John Hurd played the hand. And if you look at the other pros that played this hand and some of the amateurs, they got it right because they knew they wanted the opponents to play a certain suit. So most of the people in the tournament, including me, went down on this hand. And I'll show you how John played it and why we would play it this way in order to take the most tricks. The auction was very simple. We ended up in four spades in the south, and the opponents led a club. So at this moment, if we take stock of our losers, we see we have one heart loser for sure, and we have two or three diamond losers. So we know we're going to lose the heart. We want to try to keep our diamond losers down to two, and we're not going to be able to do that by leading the suit ourselves. And this isn't something we know, but it is something we can definitely prepare for. And we can prepare to let the opponents help us in some of these situations. The way we're going to start the hand, though, after we win the club is we're going to draw 3 rounds of trump to get all the trump out there. And now what we want to do is try to strip the hand of anything but diamonds. And we're going to go about this in a number of different ways. We could cash our clubs and then lead a heart and hope they don't take it. Or what John Hurd did here is he led the queen of hearts now. And this is a very tricky play because West with the ace is going to assume that when we lead the queen, that partner might have the king. So they're going to play second hand low. And by leading the queen, John gets to actually hold this trick, which is going to become very important in a second. Because not only do we want to strip the hand down, but at some point we want to throw our opponents in so they can help us. And he's created that situation right here with this play. Because now he simply strips the clubs, meaning he takes all the clubs out of the hand, and he exits with a heart. He knows he's going to lose this trick, but watch what happens. The opponents have no choice now but to lead diamonds or hearts, and both are good for us. The first diamond gets won by East, and now they are what's called end played. They can play the ace of diamonds, and then we'll take the jack, making 4. They can play the jack of hearts, which is what they did, and we pitch a diamond from our hand, and we rough it in the dummy. And this is called a slough and a rough. So no matter what they do, they have to help us. And that is really good bridge, folks. If you look at the other pros that played this hand as well, like Joe Grew and Shane Blanchard, they did similar things. Not exactly the same, but the goal was to strip the hand, to throw your opponent in, and to let them help you make your contract. Well played. Hand 2 should have seen everybody playing 2 no trump. The normal result is just to make two. There were quite a few of you that went down one or more than one. So let's just talk about how we would plan the play. And this is actually one of the boards I did reasonably well on, so I can show you how I played this hand. The opponents got off to the 10 of diamond lead. And this is the moment that we should count our winners. We either win the trick and count our winners, or we count our winners right away. After we win the first trick, we can see we have 3 more diamond tricks. So that's 4 total. We have 1 club, that's 5, and 1 spade, that's 6. We need to get to 8 tricks, and we want to do so in the most efficient way possible. And that way is to set up clubs right now. We're not going to want to transport back and forth and take a finesse, because all we really need are 2 tricks. And also, when we're taking a finesse in this position, we're taking a finesse only one time, right? We don't get to take it more than once, which means we're very unlikely to see the king come out in either of the first 2 tricks, so it's not really worth it. We can set up 2 tricks right now by just playing the ace of clubs and now a low club. And at this moment, we have 8 winners. So even if the opponents rip off 4 heart tricks somehow, we will still be able to take our 8 winners, right? Because they can't do anything more than that at this moment. If the hearts were breaking badly, maybe they could take more tricks, but at this moment, we can't go down. And that just comes from counting your winners and knowing where you are. You know you need to create 2 tricks, and you have a very simple way to do that. So do that right away. And then if things get hairy later on, you can start ripping off your winners. And notice, after they lead a diamond, I have no reason to do anything but take all of my tricks, because any lead from me now is going to set up potential tricks for the opponents, which I can't afford to do. So 8 tricks in the books, we take them, and then we just concede the rest. They're going to take the last 4 tricks, but it doesn't matter. We've made our contract. Board 3 is what we would call in the poker world just a bad beat. We get to a totally normal 3-no trump contract, and this should be the auction you saw. 1 spade, 2 diamonds. We rebid 2-no when we're 5-3-3-2, and now partner bids 3-no. In the real world, partner might have rebid their diamonds, and we have a chance to find our diamond strain there. But this is what should have happened at every table. And the bad beat comes when the opponent figures out the only perfect lead to beat you, which is to cash both of their hearts and now cash the rest of their hearts. So it's not a normal lead, guys. Usually you would, tend to lead 4th best in this case, but they figured out to lay down the ace of hearts and the king of hearts at tricks 1 and 2, and you just go down. And that's why the result is very close to average. We had some outlying results here, which were bid incorrectly. If you ended up in diamonds on this hand, guys, take a look at this auction again. But the normal contract here is 3-no trump, down 1. Board 4 saw a very interesting hand for us. We are heavily distributional, and the auction gets underway well before we get a chance. West opens 1 spade, East responds 1-no trump. Now, a lot of you bid 2 diamonds, some of you bid 3 diamonds. I'll show you the best bid in a second, and it certainly wasn't mine. The double here by me was an attempt to start to show a very strong hand with diamonds. That's how strong this hand is. You're solid 7 in the diamond suit. You have a side 4-card suit that's actually very nice, and you have singleton in the majors, which is why my double is bad, and I'll tell you why in a second. But after my partner offers up the diamond suit and East bids 2 spades, I just jumped to game in diamonds. Now it went pass double by East, and then it went pass 5 spades by West. So they kind of stole a very good contract from my side, because I actually made a mistake with my first bid here. So I let them play 5 spades, and as it turns out, if partner leads either minor suit, we're beating it. But as it turns out, they led the ace of spades, and now we just can't beat the contract, unfortunately, and we let them make an over trick. So unlucky for me defensively, but really I could make my own luck, and we all could have if we did what John Hurd did. The auction started 1 spade, pass 1-no trump, and when I was talking to him about this hand, he said it's clear just to jump to 5 diamonds in a situation like this because of the auction that's existed before you. And really the biggest factor is you're singleton in the major suits. You know the opponents just have a whole bunch of cards in those suits. So the faster we can get the auction up to this level, the harder it is for them to discover their fits and determine what's right. So with just this one quick bid, we've gotten ourselves to the absolute best spot possible because it's a makeable game. And Shane Blanchard bid it better than I did also because he actually took the 6 diamond bid over 5 spades. He was just assuming they could make it and only went down one, where a lot of the rest of the field is just playing in 4 or 5 spades, making over tricks. And if you want to see how John played this hand, you can come to the results screen and kind of cycle through it. But it boiled down to just getting the club situation correct on this hand. You have to lead clubs towards your hand twice, and you'll be able to make sure you take 11 tricks on this hand. And as it turns out, you only have to do it one time because they hop up with the ace and you have the rest of the tricks. Board 5 saw the brilliance of Joe Grew. He was the only player in 4 spades making 4, and we'll take a look at how he played it in a second. There was a little difference in how everyone bid this hand. Some of you bid 2 clubs over 1 diamond, and Joe did that here. Shane Blanchard did that also. John Hurd bid 1 spade, as did I. I don't think it matters what you do on this hand. You're likely to get to 4 spades on this hand. If you didn't realize that partner opened the bidding, right? Partner opened a diamond and you have this hand. This is certainly enough to game for us, especially when you find a spade fit. So in this particular spot, if you bid a spade and partner raised, you should definitely have played game. And if you bid it like this, you should certainly have found your fit in one way or the other. And let's take a look at how Joe played this hand, because he, again, was the only person to make 4 spades on this hand. We got a diamond lead, and Joe won his ace, and he saw the jack and the queen on this trick. And now we want to get to the business of getting rid of our losers. We did very well to dodge a heart lead here. They didn't lead their heart, and you can see why. They have ace, queen, jack, 7th, so they don't want to lead away from that position. So now we get to throw away a loser, and we're going to do that by cashing the ace of clubs, voiding the dummy, coming back to our hand with a trump, and now playing the king of clubs. We need to do this because when we let the opponents in, if we still have 2 hearts on both sides of the table, we have 2 losers. And now we've dialed that down to 1 by getting that pitch in. And here's where Joe played a diamond. And we know the suit entirely now. So at this moment, we certainly know that East has the 9 and another diamond, and we'll show you why that's relevant in a second, because Joe now got a heart return and then another heart which he trumped in dummy. And now he took a really cool roughing finesse. And a roughing finesse just means we're taking a finesse with the trump behind it, right? So he plays the 8 of diamonds. When East plays low, he knows it's right for him to throw away a club, because East has to have the 9 because West showed out. So he takes this nice little roughing finesse, and now he just has a cool little cross rough for the rest of his tricks. And that's how Joe Grew made 4. And that is why he's a world champion. And I know some of you got a different lead. It is a lot harder to deal with a heart lead on this hand, even though you can still make it. I managed to go down 2 after a heart lead, so this was not my most shining moment on this hand. But you can see on any lead, you can actually make the hand. Obviously, on a non-heart lead, it's a little easier because you get to ditch that heart loser before they get a chance to take 2 tricks. Board 6 saw all of us in 1 diamond, essentially. We should have just been playing 1 diamond because it's going to go 1 diamond all pass. Those of you that played anything other than 1 diamond, you made a terrible error in the bidding, so go check that. This is a hand that is certainly good. It's 18 points, but it's so flat, we're not going to do anything but open a diamond and jump to 2 no trump. Right? It's a minimum for that bid, actually. If you did not make it, take a look at the play at the other tables. There were quite a few people making 1 or 2. A lot of you going down, though, so take a look at the play on this hand and see what you might have done differently. Board 7 saw what should have been a familiar hand for a lot of you that have been playing in the tournament and watching these videos. I've talked about this situation quite often in the hands that popped up. And what we have is we have a hand that is 17, and it has a very good 5-card suit in it. These hands, as you've heard me say before, I love to treat as 18-19 because really that's what they're worth. This hand is very strong. It's too strong, in my opinion, to open one no trump. So when you're at 17 with a good quality 5-card suit, doesn't matter whether it's a major or minor, I prefer to open one of that suit and then jump to 2 no trump at my next opportunity. And that's what I'm doing with this 2 no trump bid here. Right, I'm showing an 18-19 type hand. My partner responded 1 no trump, and that's when partner passes. So we're going to play 2 no trump on this particular hand. Those of you that open 1 no trump got to play 1. So that was a good spot for you. You saved, but you missed the potential time where partner has a little better hand and you can play a game. The play is all about making sure you take advantage of the times that you're going to be in the north hand, which after the opening lead of a low diamond is right now. This is essentially the last moment you will have to take a club finesse. And we could get back to the north hand by overtaking our king of diamonds with the ace, but that's a little wasteful at this point, and maybe we have a chance to take that ace afterwards. So at trick 2, if this was the contract you found yourself in, on this lead, you would very quickly try to take a club finesse. If you were playing it from the south side, and let's take a look at that. Here's Deborah Roberts making 2 from her chair. She opened 1 no trump. And Deborah, we know we should open a club with this hand. Just saying. And we saw that the opponents got off to the normal lead of a heart. And now we need to decide what to do from here. Now, we would love to be able to set up diamonds, but again, we have the same problems no matter which side we're on. We can't really get there to take advantage of that. So we should be using the diamond suit as a way to take our club finesse, and we'll see Deborah do this right now after she developed her spade trick. She's going to play king of diamonds low to the ace, and now she gets to play a club back to her hand. And I hope we would have finessed there because we probably needed to get a better score, but they popped up with the queen anyway, and we took the rest of the tricks. So nice job playing from that side. The way we bid it here at my table, the diamond lead is actually a little bit better than them breaking hearts right away, so we gain a little bit by that as well. But if you made 2, you did very well. You took the tricks that you were supposed to on this hand. So on the last board, we should have overcalled 1 no trump. There were quite a few of you that overcalled spades, and that is not an incorrect overcall at all. It's just a little bit better to overcall a no trump because you get your range of points out there right away. And let me just ask you, what would you open this hand? If you would open it a no trump, even with a 5-card major, if you're still in a hand that looks like it would open a no trump and you have a stopper in the opponent's suit, it's okay to overcall a no trump as well. You don't have to bid spades. And if you did overcall 1 no trump, you ended up in 1 no trump. And we'll show you how Shane Blanchard played this hand, because he certainly played it a trick or two better than I did. The opening lead was a heart, and this is a really bad opening lead for us, guys. This puts us in a really tough spot to take the maximum number of tricks if they continue playing hearts, because we have some tricks to potentially lose on this hand, so we have to be very careful. Luckily, they switch to a spade at trick 2, and we take our finesse, which we should. I accidentally misclicked and played the ace, so disaster for me. But in this spot, you know you have an 8-card suit, so even if the finesse loses, you've gotten yourself closer to establishing tricks in that suit. So the queen wins, and now we go about the business of playing clubs. Now the club suit is interesting here because we don't have any entries to it. Right, we're not going to get back to dummy except with that king of clubs. So after playing the ace of clubs, Shane correctly just ducked a club, meaning he just let them win the second trick. And the reason we do this is we know we have 8. So if they're breaking evenly, when we win the third trick, we get to take those other 2 in the dummy. And that's exactly what happens here. They finally figure out that it's right to return hearts, but now it's too late for them. Shane crosses the dummy with that club. And now he gets to take both of those tricks, pitching away red cards. And then he gets to come back to the spade finesse. So Shane made 10 tricks on this hand for 92.3%. There were several others that made the same. Nice job, everybody. Good overcall and well played. So don't forget, overcalling one no trump is the same as opening. If you're going to do it with a 5 card major, it's okay. In fact, it's usually better than overcalling your major because you get your point count right out there. You get that 15 to 18 right on the table. So great job, everybody, this week. Saw a lot of improvement in a lot of your scores, and the leaderboard is up and up to date. So good luck the rest of the way, folks, and I'll see you at the tables and online next week for our tournament. Take care, guys.